AllBall TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
Yeah. We back. We back.
Sir.
We going right into this, man. We ain't playing no games with anybody, man.
Yes,
Enough
sir.
is enough. No shenanigans. Stream y'all's playing with my drops. We in here. You see the man very familiar with you guys, or you should be familiar with him, the real Ant-Man from In This Corner Boxing. Definitely it's gonna be a call-in show, y'all. See y'all in the comments. Tory B, what's going on? Top of New York. Slim Slammer. Always love y'all showing love.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna get into the the Vergil Ortiz knockout reaction from this past weekend. Get into some of this fight action. Is the Boots Vergil Ortiz fight confirmed? And then we'll get into some more fights, and then we're gonna let you guys up. See who wants to talk about this boxing, and of course, our Knicks. Ant-Man, what's going on, baby?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good evening, man. How you feeling today?
See, I'm all right, to be honest with you.
Good.
Well, actually, I had a mini funeral for those that haven't noticed. I chopped my beard off, but they told me it was happy wife, happy life. So, Ant-Man,
that's true.
I have to do what I'm told, apparently. Jeremy's house is going on. How you feeling today, Ant-Man?
Man, I'm blessed, man. Glad to be here. God is great. God is good. And I definitely can't complain.
Listen, man. After this past weekend, I can't either. Vergil Ortiz, knockout. Oh, I hope I say his name right.
Erickson Lubin.
Kind of stationary out there. Vergil Ortiz made quick work of him in the second round. They stopped the fight. Lubin looked like he was hugging the referee after he got dropped. And I don't mean to make fun of you like that, Lubin, because you probably beat my ass in less than 20 seconds. I don't want no smoke. But Vergil Ortiz is somebody you've been bigging up. Talk about how going into Saturday, why this is a big deal for boxing, but really for Vergil Ortiz with, boxing, UFC getting popular, stuff like that. I don't want to mention them, but he is a big name. He's already damn near household name. What about this fight leading into it? And of course, the fight itself is lending himself into that household name territory.
Well, going into the fight, I actually said it could be a 50-50 fight. I know Vergil Ortiz comes to fight. He's strong. He throws a lot of punches, and he really want to come and do damage, knock you out. Erickson Lubin, he has the experience. He's a little more experienced than Vergil Ortiz by about 5-6 fights. So, and Erickson Lubin been in there with better competition, of course. He been in there with Charlo, even though he got knocked out by Charlo 7-8 years ago in the first round. And then he got experience, he fought Fundora. So he's been in there with better competition, but I thought it would be a 50-50 fight based on how Erickson Lubin came out.
Right.
And the way he came out from the first round kind of showed me that this is not going to go good.
What in the first round, and how did he open up that showed you that he wasn't aggressive? Where did he lack the confidence at? I think that's a lot with sports in general, and especially in fighting. You can tell when somebody's lacking confidence. So what was the tell for you from Lubin?
Well, I saw him backing up too much. I saw him backing up into the corner, backing up into the ropes. This was in the first round. So it ain't like some people say, well, Vergil Ortiz backed him up on the ropes in the second round. No, because Erickson was on the rope in the first round, kept backing up into the corner. He kept backing up, backing up into the ropes. So when the second round came, he was already doing it. So he settled in and he backed up into the ropes again. But this time, Vergil picked it up and said, you know what? Something ain't right with this dude. Let me just press the action. And he pressed him on the ropes, and he threw his hook, and he threw his right hand, and he caught him. He hurt him. And I think he actually hurt him in the first round before the round was over. But then going into the second round, when he caught him with that left hook and that right hand, and then he just kept coming, and then he threw a couple more punches, man, and you could kind of see Erickson Lubin was out on his feet, and he was tensed up. He was like tensed up, like he couldn't move, and he was just there. And then the ref just jumped in. I think it was a good stoppage because you know you don't want somebody. It's boxing, and I love combat, but I don't want to see nobody get killed in the ring. I don't want to see nobody get hurt. So I'm glad it was a good stoppage.
Nah, especially in this day and age, it's too much with the social media, the heat that you're gonna have to take on from not stopping a fight like that. He was clearly hurt, and on top of that, he wasn't back. Like he wasn't even fighting back, and
No,
and you can hear the commentator say that, yo, listen, that Philly shell ain't gonna work unless you know really are athletic like that and moving out of the way.
that's
And
right.
it didn't even look like a Philly shell. Like how was that a Philly
Nah,
shell if you're not if you're not moving? You know, you're
no,
supposed to be
it's
ducking out of that. So he made quick work of him and he did his job. And Vergil Ortiz wins again. Where do you think this puts him? Because pound for pound is, I don't say subjective, but they have their own list. Where does this put Vergil Ortiz for you, compared to anybody else?
Well, in 154, it puts him. I believe the WBC has him ranking now as the #1 contender. So in the 154-pound division, which is junior middleweight, where he's definitely in the top three of the top three guys. He's definitely there, based on what he's done already, and definitely after Saturday. You know, second round TKO. I mean, you can't ask for anything better than that.
APAP 1586, APAP 1586. We all live, my brother or sister. I'm not sure, but we all here. We all live in the building with Ant-Man from Ennis Corner Boxing discussing the Vergil Ortiz knockout from this past weekend. We're reacting to that. We are also reacting to, as you said, #1 contender in some people's books, top 3 in your book, and #1 in your book. We know who that guy is.
Absolutely.
Boots Ennis. He was there at that fight. And if there's anything I love, is when is the wrestling moments. They showed him Vergil Ortiz going to the corner, putting his hands up, and they flashed right to Boots Ennis, who's clapping his hands. And I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Macho Man's in the building. And he
Yes,
walked
sir.
right into that ring during Vergil Ortiz post-fight, I guess, press conference interview. And look at him looking that way. Let's see what they had to say to each other.
All right, so that you answered the question. Is this the fight that you want next? Vergil Ortiz against Jerron Boots Ennis.
I think this is the fight that has to happen, man. I think this is it.
It's the best fight in boxing. I think he did a great job. He looked good. But I'm going to show the world why I'm the best in the world. And I'm going to show his team. They've been talking all crazy. They've been talking crazy. And I'm going to back it up, and I'm going to show the world why I'm the best in the world. But like I said,
But no one's been talking crazy, bro. Your dad is the first one that said that I was ducking. It's on video. It is on video that he said we ducked and we didn't get no offer.
it don't matter. The time is now. It's that time. Let's get this money and let's make this fight happen.
It does matter because you said that we're the ones talking. We're not the ones talking. Oh, we started talking after you guys started talking. It's retaliation. It's retaliation.
Your manager's talking all crazy. Oscar talking crazy. It's the time, and I'll make you pay for everything they saying. Straight like
Ain't nobody's gonna pay over here. No, you're not. No, you're not.
I'm not gonna lie, man. It's a little lackluster trash talk, man. No, you're not. Yes, I am. No, you're not. Yes, I am. We need
Well,
some
let me
serious talk.
say,
King Speech, you in the building? I see you. We're gonna put the link up a little bit later. I know you're a boxing fan. We'll let you write up, or anybody else who loves boxing. We're gonna be able to react to this. We've seen that just now, Ant-Man. Post fight interview, Vergil Ortiz 1-on-1 with Boots Ennis, and they're blaming each other for ducking the fights, and Boots is telling him like, yo, we've been wanting to fight you. Vergil saying, no, you started talking first, and that's why we started talking. We got some more evidence here, Ant-Man. You want to get to that, or you want to comment first?
Well, let me make a comment first. So just to give a little history, Vergil Ortiz, before he moved up to 154, he was at 147 with Boots, and they were supposed to fight. And he ducked Boots at 147. Boots was trying to fight. If you remember, if anybody knows boxing and they know about Boots, he was trying to fight Spence. He was trying to fight Crawford. He was trying to fight Thurman. He was trying to fight Vergil Ortiz. He didn't get any of those fights. So now Vergil Ortiz was supposed to fight Emantis Stanionis, who Boots beat in April and took his belt, the WBA belt. Vergil never fought him because he had some medical issues. So that fight was called off twice. He finally moves up to 154. So because it was already a history with them from 147, and now when he gets in the ring and he's bringing up, well, your father said this, your father, yeah, you did duck at 147. And then you try to say Boots ducked you at 154, but Boots just moved up to 154. Right. So how did he duck you when they was talking about fighting you and you said your hand was hurt? Next thing you know, you make a fight with Erickson Lubin. So that's the history right there of how they were talking about back and forth. But Boots never ducked him, and Vergil knows better. He knows that.
Well, they're going back and forth saying all this, and then less than 48 hours, 24 hours, you got all
24
this.
hours.
What did we just say a few minutes ago? You cannot escape social media.
That's
if
right.
you're talking like that, listen, you see the title right there, A side or no fight.
That's
Come
right.
on now. Let's see what they got to say.
Ortiz's promoter, Oscar De La Hoya, said that Golden Boy's Vergil Ortiz has the upper hand and that terms must be favorable to him, and that Eddie Hearn and Boots Ennis better not argue with this one because Ortiz is for sure the A side in this conversation. Now, the thing is, despite Ortiz and Boots coming from early TKO wins versus their NPC opponents, it may be challenging for Ortiz to demand too much considering that on paper, Boots is actually the more accomplished fighter. Given this, De La Hoya demanding everything to be in favor of Vergil Ortiz without a hint of compromise could be a major obstacle in making this fight happen sooner rather than later. Ortiz and Boots are both willing to fight each other. However, their promoters will still have the final say because at the end of the day, boxing as a sport is only one side of the coin, with the other it being business. Ortiz.
Okay. Yeah, if you say so. If you say so, Mr. Quick Talk PH. Appreciate you posting that video. But we do have some more evidence here of what's been going on. We actually had Vergil Ortiz speaking on who he wants to fight next. What's going on here?
It doesn't matter who's next. If I had to pick, I'm gonna be honest, it would be Spence because that's my dream fight. I've been calling it since
AT&T.
AT&T. There you go. At the Cowboys Stadium, and I just think that's my dream fight. And I don't care what anyone says about it. But anyone else, like I said, anyone can get it respectfully. I just want to fight the best. I'm just a competitive guy. Yeah.
There you go. You ain't got to try to figure it out.
Do you think, because this is okay, so Oscar De La Hoya is saying it's either the A side or no fight. Explain that.
So the A side would be like Errol Spence when he fought Bud Crawford. Errol Spence was the A side. Why? Because Errol Spence had 3 belts. Crawford only had 1. He had a WBO. Errol Spence had the IBF, WBC, WBA. So that makes sense. He's the A side, and he had more fights, more experience as the welterweight. But the fact that he had all 3 belts absolutely made him the A side. In this situation, Boots was unified. He had 2 belts at 147. Vergil Ortiz never had a belt. He's at 154. He done had a few fights, about 3-4 fights. Still no belt. He got an interim belt, which is temporary. So how is he the A side? He's not the A side. But De La Hoya is using that as a tactic to duck the fight. He's not the A side. But even if he is the A side, if you remember when Spence fought Crawford, what did Spence concede to? Okay, he got more money, but he allowed Crawford. The champion usually comes in second. He usually makes his ring entrance second. He allowed Crawford to come in second, and he come in first. He still conceded something, even though he was the A side. So if this fight doesn't happen, that will show you point blank that they just don't want to fight. Because there have to be concessions even when you the A side.
But for me, great explanation, first of all. Thanks for clarifying that. It always feels like, gotta compare it to UFC, they try to get the greatest fights or fighters or whoever's the hottest in
That's
the
right.
ring at the moment. And
At
in
the
boxing,
moment.
at the moment. And in boxing, I know that you can't do that because everyone develops on their own timeline. Now, the problem with this is, number one, they're both in their prime. That's a big problem. Number two, I don't know where the leverage is coming from aside from there's no leverage here because neither one of them can be considered household names. They're not there yet. This fight, a fight between them, could put them into that territory, especially if they have a great fight that we want to see a part two. And it just feels like Oscar's doing the typical traditional boxing thing where we're gonna use your name as hot as it is right now. Go fight Errol Spence, who's another big boxer. See if we could wipe him out, and then we'll fight Boots Ennis or whoever's hot at that moment as well. And he's trying to milk the heat from the boxers. This is what I think traditional boxing has always been, and we hate it. Now, I'm not sure. What do you think about that? Is that
Well, let me just say, in the time of Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier and Ken Norton and George Foreman, they didn't do that. Them guys fought each other, right? So that's this boxing. That's just generation. They didn't do that in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. They didn't do that. Okay, Trinidad, De La Hoya, Floyd, Shane Mosley. They may have not fought for some years, like with Manny Pacquiao, but there was reasons for that. He said he was scared of needles. He didn't want to take no tests. He didn't want to be tested for PEDS, right? So there was an issue behind that. But the bottom line is them guys back then, they fought each other. It wasn't no whole lot of delays, right? And they were champions at young ages, 21 and 22, Floyd and Trinidad and all of them, right? So for him to want to fight Errol Spence, who hasn't fought in 2 years and is coming off a beatdown, getting knocked down a few times, a massacre. Why would you want to fight him? What does that do for your legacy, beating Spence at this point? Absolutely nothing.
And do me a favor, lean closer to the mic. I don't know if it's a little echo going on.
Right.
And you sounded better before.
Okay.
Try. Yeah. Go ahead. Give it a try.
Okay. You hear me now?
Yeah, it's better.
Okay. Cool.
So,
you understand what I'm saying, though?
Yeah, of course. I just feel like it was Floyd ushered in the new tactical way to really promote these fights and be careful with and get the money. But I just feel like that I grew up thinking that that's what the way boxing was. Obviously, Ali and just sports in general back then, it wasn't enough money. It wasn't as much money to even pull this stuff off. It wasn't even worth it. All the money was in gambling. But then I guess the next thing with that will be, well, then you really have, in terms of just straight up fighting, Oscar De La Hoya doesn't have any leverage. The only leverage he has is to milk the money from all this because they're both just even in terms of experience, who we want to see. He just knocked this guy out. We want to see if Boots Ennis also can get over someone like Vergil Ortiz. It's just natural to go see it. Like, you don't want, it feels like you are ducking now. It feels like if I'm watching him going, yo, Vergil Ortiz, don't get me wrong, both hands, he looks like he has power. That jab looks powerful. He's coming forward, but I can see he's more stationary. He's not agile. So you can be more of a target. So I'm seeing Boots like, I don't know about this. This looks like an easy matchup for Boots. It might be 5 rounds, whatever, but I can see him winning. And I think De La Hoya knows this. That's what it feels like.
No,
that's what it feels like.
You point on. Listen, at 27 years old, De La Hoya already had fought Trinidad. He already had fought Sweet Pea Whitaker. You know what I'm saying? Those
at 27?
Yeah, at 27, he already had fought them two, right? So your man, Vergil Ortiz, is 27. So wouldn't you want the same for him to fight the best? Because you fought the best. I will give you that. De La Hoya has fought the best throughout his career. So why would you want that for your fighter, right? You have to be ducking, man, because, you know, we have the proof, man. We have what you said, A side or no fight, right? This is what you said. And I listened to a couple of videos besides that. So now Vergil Ortiz switches from now, I want to fight Errol Spence. That's my dream fight. And then his trainer says, in another video I sent you, he said that Vergil Ortiz has many options. What does that mean? We're not going to fight Boots. We got Errol Spence. We got Crawford. We got Charlo. We got Fundora. See, they're gonna excuse their way out of the fight. Because here's the thing. Vergil Ortiz is a strong. He throws a lot of punches. He's very good. I take nothing from him. But let me tell you something. Boots can neutralize Vergil Ortiz with his jab alone. That's from the orthodox stance, right? He could neutralize it from the orthodox stance with the jab. He got a power jab that could put you on the canvas, right? His combinations, his footwork, his power. He got power. You want to talk about power? He got power. His body work. They already know. I guarantee you, if they fight, he will make Vergil Ortiz corner throw in the towel.
Damn.
That's a fact. I have no doubt about it. I bet everything on it.
Well, obviously, if that fight happens, it'll take some time. We don't know if Vergil Ortiz wants to fight.
Yeah,
the Errol Spence. We don't even know what's gonna happen. But before all that, for me, boxing is getting more exciting. It's one of the last sports because even with basketball, I watch it, and basketball is the only team sport I can really watch for whatever reason. I think it's a cultural thing when you and I can just talk about ball, and then every other sport, football is hard for me to watch. Baseball, when it's playoffs, is easier because it's more, But boxing is the only thing that's going back to like primal times. Like, yo, listen, that sounds like I'm a caveman, but it's just what it is. What it is. It's mano v mano, and it's skill. It's not UFC. So, speaking of skill, this coming month, Ant-Man got a lot of fights coming up. Stephen Butler versus Stefan Fondro. That's the main event. That's coming up on the 13th. That's this Thursday. On Friday night, you got Julio Cabrera, Brian Mocinos. Saturday, you have Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn. Same night, we have Rafael Espinosa and Arnold Guy. Hopefully, I said your name right. Then you have Harlem Eubank next Friday, November 21st. You have Harlem Eubank versus Josh Wagner. That same Friday night, you have Francisco Vernon versus Romain Villa. Then, that same Friday night, the 21st, Damian Davila versus Gabriel Mendez. And, of course, the 22nd of November, we got David Benavides.
Yes, sir.
Versus Anthony Yarde. Do any of these, obviously, David Benavides is the biggest name here that I believe, but are there other names here that you feel like stand out and should deserve some shine right now before we get to David Benavides?
Well, the card alone, man, is, and before I say that, November 15th, you got the rematch with Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. That's a historical fight based on the fact that their fathers fought each other twice. And now they're doing the same thing. And Nigel Benn and Chris Eubank won those fights. And now Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr., they're fighting. And the first fight, Chris Eubank won. And so there's a lot of history to them two fighting. But David Benavides, that card, man. Listen, you got Devin Haney and Brian Norman Jr. on that card. Devin Haney moving up to 147 now, coming from 135. He went to 144. After that, lost to Ryan Garcia. He fought Ramirez, didn't look too good, but now he's fighting a big puncher in Brian Norman Jr. Then you got my man, young boy from Ohio, real mature young brother, Abdullah Mason versus Sam Noakes. I'm looking for Abdullah Mason to do big things, and this fight is going to set it off for him because he's going to get a belt out of this fight. Man, it's just the card, man. Jesse Rodriguez, that's Jesse Bam Rodriguez versus Fernando Martinez. He's another young guy, man, that's up and coming. That's a real good fighter, banger, knockout puncher, good boxing skills. So that card alone, man, then you get to David Benavides, the Mexican monster. He got that name from Mike Tyson, the one and only. And Anthony Yard, who's only lost was against Beterbiev, and you saw Dmitry Bivol fight Beterbiev twice, and I believe he won both fights. Definitely the second one, but the first fight was a little closer. But I believe he won both. So you know what Anthony Yard is coming with, but Benavidez, I got him spectacular win, probably a stoppage between 8 and 12. So man, that's just that's one of the, this card right here is one of the best cards ever, and definitely so far of this year. There's no doubt about it.
I already see Devin Haney and Norman going back and forth on social media. Norman's going like, "Why you asking me about his clothes, man? I got a $5 t-shirt on." And
Right.
hey, yo, for all y'all in the chat, thanks for supporting. You already know, click the membership button. We got this Snap, we call it the Cash App, all that. However you can support, like, share, comment, subscribe. The link is in the chat. If you want to come up, react to the knockout from this weekend, react to boxing in general, and of course, we have our Knicks. Whatever you want to talk about, I'm here for all the smoke. AllBall ain't here. AllBall is traveling. He's not here to accept your smoke or your challenges. But and man, the Devin Haney Norman fight. Let's get into that a little bit more, because that seems like that has a little more mustard to that fight. What do you expect from that, and why is it a little more appealing? It pops out the page for me.
This fight is going to be a turning point and a make or break for Devin Haney, because again, his two fights previously, we saw him getting up off the canvas a few times against Ryan Garcia. We know that Ryan Garcia came in overweight, probably purposely. He was on peas, he cheated, but I don't think that really had everything or mostly anything to do with Devin Haney getting beat like that. He still couldn't get away from that left hook. And that's the best punch that Ryan Garcia had. And I think Devin Haney went into that fight too emotional, because he kept getting hit with the same punch and kept landing on that canvas. So he came back. He took a year off. I believe he had a child. And he came back and he fought Ramirez in New York in Times Square. And he did a lot of moving. Very unusual for him, a lot of moving. Some people said running, but he definitely did a lot of moving, on a borderline of running. And now, that was at 144, and now he steps up to 147, and he's fighting a big puncher in Brian Norman Jr. And let me just give you a little history of Brian Norman Jr. Brian Norman Jr. ducked my man Boots. Boots is used to getting ducked. So when Boots was trying to become undisputed at 147, which is why he stayed there, and he took the belt from Stanionis. He was supposed to fight Brian Norman. They offered him $1.7 million. Now, if you never even made $1 million, wouldn't you take that money? If you never even made $500,000, you gonna turn down $1.7 million? So what does Brian Norman Jr. do? He goes to Japan, makes way less money, and he beats a guy named Jin Sasaki, who already had a loss, was knocked out before, and that was his claim to fame, I guess. So now he comes back. You duck my man Boots. And now you're fighting Devin Haney. And if you beat Devin Haney, you're not going to get the full credit, because naturally Devin Haney's a 135-pounder, a lightweight that just moved up. And 2 fights ago, he was destroyed. So what credit are you really getting out of it? Now, if you lose to Devin Haney, which is highly possible, because Devin Haney can fight now. Let's not get it twisted. Devin Haney can box, he can move, and he might have more power at 147 now. His body looks real good. So if he loses to Devin Haney, then he's going to look real bad.
What is lacking from Devin Haney? Is it focus? Is it discipline? I know in the era that we live in now, because he's a big name. His father's a big time. He's a LeVar Ball of boxing. His pops. He's always out there. But what in your opinion is lacking from him? Because in boxing, I compare it to wrestling all the time, where it's like, of course, wrestling is scripted, but there still is the promotional aspect of wrestling to get us excited. That is what changed every sporting event, including boxing. Devin Haney got that down packed with him or his father. You got the promotion side down packed. And that's 99% of boxers don't really have that. But and he's skillful, he's talented. But what's missing from him that I don't see? He's not in the conversation with the Boots for you. to Terrence? Why doesn't he have the potential to be the Terrence Crawford? Why isn't he in a Tank Davis conversation? Because Tank Davis is getting money out the wazoo too.
Exactly. Well, Devin Haney for me is discipline. He got to stay disciplined. I'm hoping and I'm praying, honestly, because I like Devin Haney. He's one of my favorite fighters. And I'm hoping that he doesn't get caught in the same trap that he did with Ryan Garcia with this back and forth with Brian Norman and going to the fight with your emotions on your shoulders, and then you're getting hit with punches that you're not ready for. Because that's what he did with Ryan Garcia. He went into that fight too aggressive, too emotional, and he was getting hit over and over and over. I hope he's not doing that again, because he's not disciplined with Brian Norman Jr., because Brian Norman Jr. is coming to hurt him. So I hope he changed that. I hope he doesn't wear his emotions on his sleeve. I hope he's disciplined in this fight.
Well, Top of New York, he's a boxing fan. He said Haney ain't a killer. He could frustrate him all fight, and that's horrible for him. That seems to be it. Ant-Man. Listen, man, good chopping it up with you. Got some reaction videos to get to. We will be. Oh, by the way, me and Ant-Man, just to be just to give full transparency, me and Ant-Man were looking for a spot to go watch the fight on Saturday night.
Right.
Any of y'all know any fighting club? How you say that? Sports bars that show fight that normally show fights so that we can get there. Cause I'm gonna be honest with you, I ain't going to no ratchet ass spots anymore. Not happening.
Nah.
I used to go to, I think it was Jimmy's down here on by Union Square on 16th, and it was just perfect. It was mad like laid back, and it felt like a barn. It was a bunch of TVs. That's all we want. And then y'all know, leave it in the comments. Let me and Ant-Man know. Maybe we could all link up to go watch the next fight, because we're definitely trying to make this thing happen for the David Benavidez fight, especially now with that undercard being the way that you called it, Ant-Man.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Yes,
Anything else you want to leave the people with?
Listen, man, support us, man. AllBall TV, the best basketball channel on YouTube. They give the best content. They keep it real, and they die hard. We die hard Knicks fans over here, right? No matter what. And listen, I'm not, I'm not a clickbaiter. I don't make stuff up on In This Corner Boxing 24, which is my channel. So please support me. I'm trying to give the best content. And, that's it, man. We here.
And man, appreciate you, man. And by the way, I am a clickbaiter. I don't care what they think about me, man. Fuck them. Y'all got a problem with that? Go holler at Disney and them. That we doing the same shit. But